arranges acacias and begonias in the same beds. If you've come to bask in the splendor of my latest outdoor arrangement, you're too late. They're ruined, cast into unsightly disarray by a barbaric vandal. Just go home and spare yourself the disappointment. My garden, my art, has been violated, desecrated by some vulgar wood elf who thinks being raised in the wild gives him the right to pervert my designs. Now he's threatening my life. Can you believe it? Not just a garden, the very art of gardening. Eslian is waging a war on Altmer horticulture. I represent everything he despises, so he's targeting my work. He's gone too far this time, planting stranglers to ward me away. They could kill someone. Stranglers are a stubborn breed. Hacking them up would only be a temporary solution. What I need is proof that the wood elf is responsible, so he can't do any more damage. Perhaps Eslian left something at my gardens that could be incriminating? Weeks ago, Eslian came here to convince me that wilderness should be allowed to grow unchecked and untamed, as in Greenshade. Obviously, I found his argument lacking. It wasn't long after that the tampering began. Of course, but they are of little help. Can't spare time for criminal mischief. It seems sullying our pristine lands doesn't count among the worst things all these Nebara are up to. It's obvious who the culprit is, but I lack proof, so he runs free. The wood elf's tampering is sloppy, careless, maybe even thoughtless. I'm sure he's left traces of his work. A discarded trowel, foreign seeds, his own dung, or whatever a wood elf uses to fertilize soil. It'd be trivial if not for the stranglers. I am the foremost authority of the Altmer botanical arts. My vision has literally shaped the lay of the land from Alinor to Sunhold, and my best arrangements grace the royal palace. If you take issue with our methods, you take issue with me. Occasionally, there are always up-and-comers looking to stir up controversy or make their mark, but no one who desired any respect in the field would stoop to sabotage or assault. He called our wilderness sterile and artificial, nature as unruly and chaotic, but he's rather missing the point. Orderly cultivated gardens are a refinement of the raw. A plant lacks the intelligence to reach its true potential. It must be guided. Those monstrosities aren't native to any isle of Somerset, and they couldn't have crossed the seas naturally. Even if they could, the stranglers would be more widespread. They were brought here and planted deliberately among my arrangements.
It's safe over this way. Follow me. I don't think anything untoward's taken root here. Let's, have a chat, shall we? Hope those stranglers didn't hurt you. They're ornery buggers. Nearly ate my fool cousin one time, but he was so drunk that... no, never mind, not the time. As you can see, there's a bit of an infestation. Real mess. Has me a bit at a loss. Oh, have we met? Sorry, I don't remember. Never been good with names, or faces, or most details, really. Mom used to say my head would drift straight into the clouds if not for the canopy. Were you looking for me? Me? No. Well, yes, but not intentionally. You see, my brother's a bit of a prankster, and strangler seeds look a lot like white acacia. The short of it is, I did plant them. I just didn't know they were stranglers, and now I'm trying to get rid of them. Killing them's not the hard part. I'll brew a poison that'll choke the roots until they're brown in the fronds. Trouble is, can't think of a way to use it without breaking the Green Pact. It's a real moral quandary. Oh, yeah, that'd do. Whew, that's a load off my shoulders. Dribble a bit of this in the water sources around here and the stranglers should die off in a few weeks. Just the stranglers, though, promise. I should go apologise to Vinafwe for this. Oh, vandalise? Me? I'm not the one herding plants in a cramped little rows. Lashing vines to stakes, or amputating the branches of perfectly healthy trees to warp them to some unnatural ideal. I was just showing her what natural beauty looks like. Well, the moment I spoke to her, I could tell she'd never seen untamed wilds. Her entire concept of nature is perverse, if I'm blunt. I thought if I could breathe some life into those sterile gardens, she might finally see what she's missing. Well, I'm sure this little misunderstanding with the stranglers didn't help my case, but that's a bit much. I should clear things up with Vinafwe before this situation gets any more out of control. All the stories I've heard about Somerset described it as a paradise. Pristine, idyllic, beautiful. The moment I heard the High Elves were opening the Isles to visitors, I knew I had to see them. Now that I'm here, it just feels fake. You know, artificial. Like everything is an imitation. It's like nothing can be its true self. Everything, down to the last blade of grass, has to be manicured. Forced to be something it's not. It's not beautiful. It's tyranny. But it's the wilderness. Birds make their nests and Bosma grow their homes. But beyond those borders, it's Ifra's domain. I don't expect everyone to abide the Green Pact, but enslaving the land like this just feels wrong. Sort of a vow, a promise to the Green, that we'd protect it from harm and in return it would be our own. Now I know we're not in Valenwood, but those seeds are of the Green, and the idea of harming them makes me sick to the core. Better believe it. Any Bosma who so much as plucks a petal from the Green is doomed to the ooze. Song left unsung forever after. Like you never were. Even if you don't think much of yourself, there's something to fear in that. For you, sure, it's not your pact. For me, I'm hoping so. I'm supposed to protect the Green, but we're a long ways from there. Ifra, forgive me if I'm wrong. told you, this is all just a misunderstanding. Oh, friend, a little help?
The Wood Elf is only being detained until we get to the bottom of this matter. You may speak to him, but he's not leaving our custody until I see fit to release him.
I never expected Eslian to show his face willingly around here again. Your search must have spooked him out of hiding. He came here with his head bowed, hoping I'd overlook his transgressions. He can take his pleas to the court.
Hi again. In a bit of a bind, as you can see. I tried to apologize, I really did, but she's telling the prosecution I've been terrorizing her. I could use some good news. How'd you fare with those stranglers? Oh, thank Ifra for that. It'll take some time for them to die off, but they'll be too sick to hurt anyone soon. Could you explain that to the good officers of the law here? How this was all an unfortunate accident and I helped make it right? I did meddle a bit, but I didn't mean any harm by it. Surely tossing me in jail's blowing the whole thing out of proportion, right? Promise I'll never do it again. I'll even transplant my additions someplace where they'll be appreciated. If they've got laws against tending to nature, suppose I did. Guess I have to accept these folks aren't going to see things my way. Thanks for helping me fix things best I could. Maybe high off prison isn't so bad. Gold bars and all that.
You must be the concerned bystander I'm hearing so much about. Both Vinafwe and Eslion claim you can prove their case, which begs all sorts of questions. But I don't have time for that, so let's cut to the heart of the matter. Is Eslion guilty? I accept your statement and will render judgment accordingly. Whether or not he intended to do harm, his actions are in violation of acceptable conduct. Given his lack of remorse, he will be imprisoned until his debt to society is repaid. Eslian of Valenwood, you are under arrest for crimes against nature. You will be jailed until the court determines your punishment. Move along.
Crimes against nature? Insult to injury if ever there was.
I cannot be rid of this weevil soon enough. Finally, this ordeal is over. I'm just glad to be rid of Eslian. Fixing all the damage he caused will leave me little time to dwell on the outcome of his trial, but I hope they plant him where the sun doesn't shine.